Welcome to Living the Sweet Life with Azucar. Living the Sweet Life with Azucar is a podcast by mental health therapist, spoken word artist, author, screenwriter, and playwright Simone Nicole, better known as Azucar, discussing what it is like to be creative in the working world in her interview segment Ask Azucar, finding solutions to any mental wellness questions in her Q&A segment Work Well Wednesdays, and spilling the tea in her special bi-weekly dating episodic Welcome to the Sugar Factory. Subscribers receive goodies on Freebie Fridays according to their tier level. Please remember to join the Sweet Teas on patreon.com/LA Sugar Factory.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm I'm whatever I can be at the time you need me to be. So fuck it. That's my intro. I don't have much of an intro beyond
I
that.
love that. I love that. I love that. So, what I always wanted to ask you, because, like I'm Caribbean, so if we have untucked shirts, we are not allowed anywhere. So, how do you survive with this untucked shirt philosophy?
So the Untucked Shirt philosophy is, right? The only way you could ever feel like you want to have an untucked shirt at any point in time in life, whether it be through your family, through your life, through jobs, you have to have the willingness to want to be fired, right? Because because the only reason I have the name Untucked Shirt is because I was fired for having my shirt untucked. And that's how that whole sparked out.
Okay. Okay, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
It's-
You do know that there is like this menswear company that literally makes shirts that don't need to be tucked but look like, you know about that, right?
I know. It's called Untuck It, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Untuck it.
We're not promoting anything over here.
So we're
Yes,
definitely
you
not
know.
promoting anything, but I'm just saying, like, dudes, if you have not DM'd this man, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You were not successful in your marketing campaign because it's the perfect person for you. Like,
I'm just
legitimately,
saying. I'm all the shit on your
legitimately,
untucked shirts. Hell yeah.
legitimately. Um, so yeah, so hopefully if they ever hear this, they shall DM you. Period. And let everybody know what your Instagram is before we get into it.
My Instagram is my name. It's at Untucked Shirt on Instagram. Uh, you can find me at certain events, whatever event that Azucar is at, I'm probably there. Shout out to Spoken Words at NYC.
Yes.
Big ups to everybody that's allowed me to be in this space, and an honor to be here.
And he mentioned spoken words, like they have become another family for me on multiple levels. It's just when you've outgrown your previous spaces, you always feel like you're floundering. But the universe and God, whoever you want to call it, will send will send help. We'll send
Literally,
we'll send people.
they'll send the
And
mailman to send you that message for real, for real.
right. So like Ryder and Spoken P have been everything. Spoken P specifically because he was like, you're doing a lot of mental health work. Like people need to hear you. So like, yes, if y'all have not tapped in to Spoken Words NYC, Spoken Sounds. And there's a whole bunch of spoken things, but
Yeah.
start with Spoken Words NYC and you'll find everybody. And we always bring like a really, really great show and a really thoughtful show. Um, Speaking of that,
Mhm.
what was your most difficult piece to write and why?
My most difficult piece to write was my second piece I ever wrote,
Mm,
right? So, when I wrote my first piece, I was influenced by somebody that I was dating at the time who was in the spoken word scene. And I never thought about writing, whatever, such and such and so forth. And then she was like, "You could do it, you should try it, yada yada yada." So I end up coming from a job, right? Because I've been a gardener for like almost 3 years now. So I end up coming from a job. I get super inspired. I just start typing away. Right? I'm just typing my ass off. And then as soon as I'm like, yo, this is it. This is gonna get me in the scene. This is gonna get me on the shit. I go to save it and it deletes the entire thing. Gone. Gone. Gone, Azucar. That shit is gone. And
My
I was like,
gosh.
yo, you cannot fathom the rage and
I
the
know. Yeah, continue your story because I got three stories to tell you
yo.
of erasures.
It,
But yeah, your
there
whole heart is outside your body.
literally, I was like in my car, no, no, and like I don't be writing like that. So that was my shit where I was like, yo, this is the start. This is gonna get me on. And then as soon as that happened and it got deleted, I couldn't find it. I was just like, yo, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe I'm not supposed to be writing shit. And then I spent like maybe hours in my car because I was like, I'm not going to leave this space. I'm like, this is where it started. I'm going to do it over in this fucking space. And I ended up writing this really shitty poem that because when you compare your one poem to the last poem, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like complete garbage, trash, right?
Yeah.
And so I wrote that shit and I was just like, all right, whatever. And then from that sparked my first poem that I ever read out loud was a poem about my brother. So that was one of the hardest ones that I had to write.
Mm.
That whole process getting to there.
So, as you know, I've been writing for 25 years.
Yeah, I know you're a vet, bro.
Um, so I have gone through changing of phones, losing apps. Like
Oh,
literally right now, I still have my Samsung phone because there is somebody on this planet that will take my poems off of that phone and give it to me on the Android on the cloud or on
yeah,
or transfer it over to iPhone because there are certain apps that do not translate from Samsung to iPhone.
yeah,
And
facts,
I didn't know that. They might look the same, they might have the same icon, but they're not the same app.
facts.
So I'm over here trying to, get things off of there, like trying to download this app. And I'm like, where are my poems? They're not here. And so, yeah, so there was that. Then I
Complex.
had the blue screen of death. So I've been writing for 25 years. I wrote a whole book called Scribbled with Ink in high school. This was before my first book came out.
Oh,
Gone. I still have the hard drive.
yeah.
I'm waiting for the technology to catch up to be able to take it off of the hard drive.
It's in an old laptop.
I have the old laptop's hard drive. I took it to Best Buy. Best Buy couldn't do anything, but I still have it.
Interesting.
So I'm waiting for, the universe to be able to bring that up because when we can get Scribbled with Ink out, it will probably come out into like in one of my TV shows with like one of my children's TV shows that I'm working on. That's probably how I'll release it if I can get it back.
There's a way. There has to be. There's no way in 2025 where we can't rip something from a hard drive and put it onto another hard drive. There's no way.
So I am praying to all the things. So I completely understand. Oh, and I forgot there was one more story. I forgot. This like really pissed me off. So I went to an audition
Yeah,
to do a spoken word showcase.
yeah.
I performed the poem, right? I performed the poem for that showcase, like for that audition.
Hmm.
I left the venue, looked back on my phone, the poem's completely gone.
The work of the devil.
All I have is the title. It's like Aura of a Woman. That's all I got.
That's
It
diabolical.
says on my Evernote app, it says um it had like complications with like going from laptop to phone or whatever it is, because you know how now you can save it three different places. So yeah, I just have the title Aura of a Woman and I don't even remember. And I was going off because I was mad because I was upset with people mistreating women. And I don't know what I said. I don't even know if anybody has the video of this audition so
Uh,
that I can actually like transcribe it.
yeah,
So I've been through, yeah. So if I can survive, you can survive. We
I
can
fuck
figure
with
it
it. I fucking did.
We can figure it out.
It's funny that you said that because Evernote was also the thing that fucked me. Right?
Uh,
So Evernote is out here fucking with people.
Evernote now costs money.
Yeah, I know it's 17.99 a fucking month.
And I had to be like, Mom, like, do you under, like, I am officially now investing in myself.
Facts.
And she's
Facts.
like, what are you talking about? Like, I have to now pay for my notebooks, like, so that they don't go disappear. And she goes, well, you better pay for that.
You know what I started doing? No shade to Evernote. Every time I finish writing a fucking poem, I copy it and I paste into an email. Because Google will always be free.
No,
Well, I want to say Google will
are
always
parts
be.
of Google you have to pay for.
Yeah, that's true. We gotta pay for more storage, but as long as I don't take up enough storage, my shit should be fine. So
That's a good
that's my workaround because I'm always so paranoid that one day I'm gonna lose my phone or Evernote's gonna say fuck you, right? And I'll just lose everything, you know?
So, okay, to all of the writing gods out in the universe, we are not asking for you to strike us down. We just want you to cover us and allow us to be great in all the things and all the gods of the universe and all the writing gods that are watching over us.
Preach.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
I'm gonna start singing my Negro spirituals or some shit just to get my shit going. Wade in the waters.
I am working on a poem with that. I am working on a poem because have you been to Alvin Ailey yet? Please tell me you
No,
have.
I have not been to an Alvin Ailey. No.
Okay, that's my next thing. I'm gonna do a group trip. We're
Okay,
gonna
word. I'm
group
down for that. That'd be sick.
because literally it has changed my life. There are things in my head that I want to do after watching Revolution
Okay.
and after like watching and the male dancers
Oh, that'd be
just drop the mic, everything. Like I am here for it. Like, the passion is great. Chef's kiss. So yes, I might have to talk to Langston Parlor, see if we can like collaborate
I'm
to
with that.
do like a Scenic Productions Langston Parlor group trip to Alvin Ailey because yo,
That'd be
seriously.
sick.
Seriously.
That'd be sick.
Um and now I forgot the other question. Oh yes. So are you still in contact with this person that sparked your poetry career?
Sparingly, sparingly.
Okay.
There's
So
there's a
okay, because the poetry community is big yet small.
yeah, yeah,
And I get that. I get that.
sparingly. They if they ever see it, they know who they are. But
Yeah. Well, you're welcome or I should say thank you because
I do
he's
yes,
awesome.
for that, I'll thank her for that, right?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
she did me though, that was foul. Right?
Okay.
But
Well, that's why we write poetry books and we write it out. My new thing is I gotta write you out of my skin. And yes, that is a title of a poem that I'm working on currently.
so,
Um, what is a moment where or like a process where you had a poem that was like annoying you to the point where you had to like let it out?
let it out as in like I need to complete it, like I need to do it, like I need to just get on the shit.
Either
Like,
that. You either need to complete it or you need to even start it, or it's a thought that just keeps coming back to your minds and you're just too scared to do it.
what was one poem? There was something that was festering for a long time, and I've been trying to. So, you know what? I'm gonna look real quick because when I see the title of it, I'll know exactly what it is. Because for me, usually all my poems, they all bother the shit out of me anyway. Like I'll wake up from a dream and I'll just start spitting some shit that I'm thinking about. And you know that thing about if you don't fucking write it down, it's gone into the ether forever,
Yes.
ever, you know?
Yes.
And so like that's basically what happened. It was where is it? I have so much shit that I wrote down.
Are you looking for that? I'll
Yeah,
give you all a little nugget. You found it?
yeah. Okay, so you know, you've probably heard it. It's my Black History poem, right?
Mm,
So like I don't know what it was, right? But you know, we black here, right? We all know our blackness and shit. And so usually I'm very chill. Like I understand, the plight of our people and what's been going on, but I've always said like I'm not a political person, right? But just in the last couple years, months even, I feel like just the rhetoric around black people and the space around black people has been so odd. It's like people are almost forgetting what we went through, right?
Yes.
It's like it's disappearing quickly, and and it's only been like what, a hundred. It's been 4 years a slave and like almost or almost a century, right, of us being free, right? And so maybe a little more than that. But regardless, it's the fact that like in my Emmett Till poem, I was saying it's only been 60 years since shit like that happened,
I
right? And so it's like that's not even someone's full lifespan, like
Yeah, that's like
modern.
my mom and my
Exactly,
dad.
exactly. So it's just kind of like, well, we're we speak on past events that we either don't know about, like we'll talk down on past events, or we have no idea what it is, and we'll make up a narrative about what we think that thing was about back in the day, and no one really understanding where we came from, what we had to go through, and why we're here in this very moment. And so when I wrote the Black History poem, it was basically me being frustrated with the fact that people just don't give a fuck no more. Like our people, and I don't expect other
Yeah,
people, to understand, but it's the fact that our people have lost that connection, and it's only been like 60 to 100 years where we've really like had to go through all the shit just to get to the point where we can wake up every morning and go to work and yeah, still be fucking, harassed by fucking idiots out in the world. But you would think the last people that would harass us is ourselves, you know?
yeah. And
So,
speaking of that, and so I'm gonna ask you, you don't have to say yes because you are being recorded. You really don't have to say yes. But I do need some male support in this project I'm working on. It's called Kintsugi.
okay.
Um, Kintsugi is going to be a movie and also a mental health platform about the plight of Black America and the plight of Black men versus Black women and why that's there and how we can fix it and all these types of things. So I'm trying to do like a crash version. Like it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Crash is the best analogy for it.
Okay.
And so I am a woman and I'm not going to try to create men experiences without asking men. So if you are interested in joining the team, please think about it and let me know.
Will
Uh,
do. We'll talk on that.
because yeah, one morning I woke up and I had this question and I asked D Black this question and it just snowballed into, oh, I need to make some media on this. Like I need to do some research and I need to heal our people. Like this, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
now,
I'm always about the black power and the black fight, man. We'll talk on
awesome.
that for sure.
That'll be so good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. Awesome, great. Um, what is the scariest topic for you to breach? Or what is a place where you want to go, but you are afraid to go?
Um, Trauma, right? So a lot of my traumas, right? We all have traumas, but like a lot of my traumas started very early in my life, right? And I remember one of the first poems that I wrote after my debacle, right, with losing my first ever poem, talked about my trauma when I was a child.
Hmm.
And I read it one time, right? And that one time I read it, Spoken P heard it, and that's how he found me,
You
right?
can't be reading that stuff around him. He's gonna want you
Yeah.
to say it all the time.
He told me, he was like, "Yo, dude, that was raw. That was XYZ, blah blah blah." And he was like, "Come talk at my events that I'm hosting." And then it just kind of snowballed from there. But I always have a problem speaking on my traumas and my own personal battles because I feel like well, I'm the type of person that I don't want to burden people with my problems,
Mm.
and I feel like if I'm talking about my problems or my traumas out loud, I feel like it's a woe is me sort of thing,
Oh.
you know?
See, you need to be in my workshops because I would show you how that's not the case.
You know what? I might have to because I always feel like no one wants to hear about my problems. I'll save that for another time, you know.
Before I comment on that, I have to ask the piggyback question. How long have you been writing?
So I've been writing poetry for only almost 2 years now, right? About 2 years. Yeah. Yeah, about 2 years. And I've been writing because I just love to write in general. My whole life. I used to play music, right? I played the trumpet. I was taught professionally, right?
Hmm.
Classically. Piano I was taught classically. Um,
Ooh.
I love instruments. So basically I learned I'm not good at it anymore because you don't keep up with shit, you lose it. But like I was self-taught the guitar, rhythm guitar basically. And I'm also into like I so I told myself before I die, I'd write a children's book and I'd write and direct a B tier movie,
A
right?
what?
A B tier movie. You know those
Oh.
movies that are
Well,
so
you know me, so it's gonna be top tier. So forget this B tier nonsense.
it's
I
gonna
went to school for that. I got you.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I should big it up. I said I was gonna write a movie.
Yes.
Said I would write and direct a movie. That's what I always wanted to do. It'd be fun just to do it like people are my boys or whatever. And I have the whole concept, and I've been writing it down like over the years to kind of like build something up. I'm not gonna give the title because it's not trademarked or anything, but right, it would be somewhat of an action comedy, is what it would
Oh
be.
my gosh. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So excited.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm trying to work on that when I can.
Yeah. Definitely. So to go back to the icky parts of our lives, and the reason why I asked you how long you've been writing is because what's happening right now in the spoken word space is, and I hate to say it, but my ex-boyfriend was right in some point of that it's become like trauma porn.
I can see
So
that.
like if you're going to like slams and stuff, sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes your trauma poems will get the highest scores.
Yes, absolutely.
And the other poems will be the lowest. And then that's why I hate slams because I'm not sitting there and performing devilish routine to get the highest scores. Like I performed it last weekend, but I was nervous about it. You saw how long it took me to start it
Yeah.
because it's like, should I do it in this space? Because like it took me 7 years
Yeah.
to even start to write that. And
Wow.
then it took me, and then it took me more years to be able to perform it without crying. I performed it once and I cried and I was like, "Oh, nope, got to put it back." So then when I said to in 2024 when I was like, "Okay, I'm working on this project, so I have to be able to say this poem." So I did it at New Rican, and I was like, "Okay, I got through it." So that's how I knew I could start working on the project.
Great.
Um, and for your question of it, like being like I don't want to burden people. It really depends on how you write it because you're either going to put us on a journey with you of this is what happened to me and this is how I survived it, or this is my point of view on it,
Mhm.
or woe is me and here we are. Like it depends on the POV that you're trying to do with this story. So if you're going to write about it, some of the things you write, you don't perform.
True.
And then if you just need to write it out to get it out of your skin, but then you're like, oh, maybe I do want to perform it, then we could do like version 2, version 3,
Word.
enabled so that you feel comfortable sharing that, but also it can be a stepping stone for other people to relate to you and other people to become healed, or at least in the process of healing. That's why I share I am an open book all the way, because I want my life to be a lesson.
I fuck with that.
And I'd rather myself go through all this shit than y'all go through it.
Truth.
You know
Truth.
what I mean?
I could stop you from doing the shit that I did. Maybe my words will help you in that moment where it's like,
Right.
I fuck,
Right.
that's
Like
heavy.
I'm like, if I knew back then what I know now, I would have saved myself the 10 plus years of a relationship in the poetry industry, and like of going back and forth, and it like it's
Yeah,
messy. Like that's why a lot of the slams right now and a lot of the women that are performing certain poems is a lot about like poetry people. Okay, like I think we need to do a part 2 because
fine, for sure.
I love this too much and you're awesome. Because I have more questions for you.
For sure, for sure.
So, poetry niggas.
Poetry.
I'm pretty sure you heard the poem by Lil Sis, by both Lil Sis, by Italy and Lainey. I'm pretty sure you know this thing by now.
Maybe.
Okay. So, period. Like, but I've been through that.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
and I've had good, successful poetry relationships. Side piece sanctifications was a poetry relationship.
yeah,
It obviously wasn't good, but
for sure.
obviously, but other relationships I've had have been good. But it's just now it's gotten to the toxic level.
Yeah,
And we need to we need to take care of each other. Like
sure.
I like, use poetry as a therapy motif. I started writing as a therapy for
Yeah,
myself because no one was listening to me. I wrote a letter and then people started listening to me and I was like, "Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right." So then I just kept doing it. And the more that I'm out there with the things, the
Yeah,
more I can see that I can like touch people's lives.
yeah, for real.
And then I went into psychology because, I want to do that a little bit more and a little bit more legitimately. Um,
I fuck with that.
uh,
That's a good pathway,
so
though.
say that again.
So that's a good segue and a good pathway that you ended up in.
So now I'm trying to do, trying to do the adult version of Inside Out for the creative crowd.
Fuck with it. You know what? I've never seen Inside Out.
Okay, so I need to get you out of the dirt and into the movies. I need to get you out of the dirt and into the movies. Like for to end this segment of this part, what are some things that you use that you would tell your younger self?
I so I learned this from my uncle, right? So like big ups, blessings to my uncle. I have a huge family, but I have like one uncle that's very consistent with me. All my uncles are consistent, but he always checks in on me. And the one thing I would say to my younger self is you are uniquely unique, right? Don't be afraid to jump into things before it's too late. Because I've always been someone that I like to jump into anything I put my mind to, I always jump into. But there was a time frame in my life where I hesitated to do a lot of things that I wanted to do, you know, and my passions, go from here to here to here to there to there to there. And I always felt like I had to choose like one thing and not realizing, you can do anything you want to do because of the fact you can do anything that you want to do because the only thing stopping you is yourself. And the fact that you are so unique and the fact that you can't settle onto one specific thing means that your hands need to be in many jars for you to really figure out who you are as a person,
Yeah.
right? And so I wish I knew that earlier, and I didn't discover who I really was until like my late 20s, you know.
I
And then
mean, that makes sense because your brain don't stop growing till 27 anyway. So it's all right. You're not late. You on time.
yeah, I'm on time. I fuck with it then. That's cool with me. Oh, yeah,
You on
yeah,
time. You on
I feel like
time.
I was late. But you know what? If I was early to the party or I was right on time, I'll take that too.
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. So y'all understand how much I geeked out because like this is kindred right here. Like it just makes sense. It just makes sense. So tell the universe where to find you again. And yeah, what do you got going on?
What I got going on. You can find me at Untucked Shirt, Untucked Shirt, Untucked Shirt, all one word. My shirt is always untucked, right? You can find me at any spoken words.nyc event at Harlem Bomb Shelter. I gotta come through the Azucar stuff now because I'm up here on there now, so I gotta come through for her too.
Yeah.
Show out to all the events. Now that I'm really like officially part of the spoken words at NYC team, I'm the audio guy. I handle like the music and the mic and stuff. So if you want to come out to some events, hit me up. Hit out Azucar, she'll hit me up. I'll hit her up and she could throw out events that are happening also.
Yes, yes, yes. So you guys have a wonderful night. I hope you enjoyed part one of this lovely interview. Stay tuned for part two.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Living the Sweet Life with Azucar. Check us out on Instagram at La Vida Dulce Pod and at LA Sugar F on Twitter, and join the Sweet Teas crew on our Patreon to get behind the scenes access, exclusive first looks, and customized Azucar Welcome to the Sugar Factory merch. Check out our website, sweetlifewithazucar.libsyn.com, and don't forget to DM us at La Vida Dulce Pod for your questions for the Work Well Wednesday segment. See you next week with Welcome to the Sugar Factory and the next installment of Sugary Scandal and Entanglements.